Break number 674. Today we have a $1 start hobby mixer here. We got six total boxes, two each of 23, 24, 24, 25, and 25, 26 extended. Hunting after those acetate young guns and some of the sick young gun canvases. So here are your teams. Good luck, everybody. We had one trade. Here we go. And again, after this break, we'll do the 25-26 young gun hunt, where we'll chase after the Demidovs, the Schaefers, the Fowlers, the Chernyshovs, the Senecas, the double Booyums. Lots of fun stuff. Here we go. That'll be after this break. Here we go. Good luck. And we can run this. People seem to like this mix, so we can run it back in a future week. I just don't have any more 24, 25, or 23, 24 left to do it right now. So just have to pick it up from the store. But we'll go oldest to newest, and then we'll go best to worst. For box orders here. Here we go. Those seeing reds throw me off after not opening up the product for a little bit, but UD3 of Dustin Wolf for the Flames, Maurice Richard for the Habs, and Miroshnichenko on the Young Guns for the Capitals. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mark Scheifele for the Jets on the Dazzlers. Pedersen Canvas and Pedersen Beehive and black and white canvas, the Stamkos for the Bolts. Let's keep it rolling here. We got a Adam Fantilli on the UD3, Ryan Winterton for the Kraken on the Young Guns, and I guess this is a retired canvas, right? Yeah, Lundqvist for the Rangers. That is pretty sick. It is a bunch of extended from a variety of different years. I love the retired canvases. I wish that this just had more of the MSG roof to it. I mean, sports cards is how good the player is, how rare the card is, if it's a true rookie or not, and just how many people collect the set. So we got deluxe of Jason Robertson for the Stars to 250. Matt Boldy and Svozil on the Retro Young Guns. I don't believe that that's a variation of the Alexiak, but I'll keep it to the side because I know they weren't marked this year. Jason Robertson, Adam Fox, and Connor Bedard on the first round rookies. I'm just going to move my sleeves and top loaders closer to me. Bedard for Chicago on the first round rookies. Yeah, there's a bunch of different things, but essentially it comes down to, is it a rookie? For the most part, because rookies are always going to be the most valuable. Is the player good? And then how rare the card is and how collected the set is. That is the bread and butter formula, I would say. Mitch Marner on the triple diamond for the Leafs. Gaudreau and Jason Robertson for the Stars. Gaudreau for the Blue Jackets there. Unfortunately, the Canucks' favorite player. I don't really have one right now. There's some players that I like, but nothing major, I would say. That felt thick, but it's not. I like Logan Stanko, and watching him play is very fun, but Pink Dazzlers of Fiala for the Kings. We have a Panarin and an Adam Fantilli Retro Young Gun for Columbus. Well, last year we got the Retro Young Guns, wasn't it? We got the Luke Evangelista, Tyler Bertuzzi on the Outburst, and Pospisil for the Flames. No, it's all good. Hey, thanks for popping in. And yeah, I try and answer questions as I can go. It's just a little bit tough to keep my focus everywhere. So Tuck, Zary, and Malkin. So Love you some popsicle. Man, the one thing is just like, he is, I would say, a pretty dirty player and doesn't fight because of concussion issues, which to me is just like not a great mix. Man, that Canucks first round pick, man, so good. It's okay. Whoever we're gonna get is gonna be should have been the first overall pick, right? Gotta have the Copium, Kaprizov, Stamkos, and Tyson Forster. If you don't have Copium, what else is there in sports, right? McKinnon on the Hockey Heroes, I love those. Ottinger and Beniers. Again, not a valuable card, but a nice looking card. And sometimes we take those. Laferriere with an Adam Edstrom for the Rangers and a Mikko Rantanen for the Avs. But yeah. I still, like, part of me still thinks the Leafs might potentially big brain the pick, but it seems like the messaging's gotten pretty consistent that they're going to take McKenna. Which, like, yeah, I don't hate that choice. That's technically your highest upside pick. I think if their goal is to win in the next couple of seasons, there is a legitimate argument to take Stenberg first. Technically, I believe you pronounce Stenberg's name, and Forsberg too. Like, it's pronounced like Berg is Bera in Swedish. Yeah, Stenberg is Marner. Boy, if only the team had a player as good as Mitch Marner. I would love to get a documentary on exactly what happened there. Because, like, clearly something happened between him and management, I would say. And he was just like, no, I'm done. I don't think we'd ever get that level of detail, but... like, the Leafs' problem, and I will say this for year after year, the problem in the playoffs was never their defensive play. It was always the fact that they did not have offensive depth. It's really hard to win when you can just hard match against the team's top line and call it a day. Noah Hannafin, that looks really weird because it looks like it's the first round draft. On the clear cut with a Will Smith first round picks for the Sharks and a Stella Labrini pros and prospects. Nice Celebrini to start us off. Those things are worth money, so... Cutter Gauthier for the Ducks. With a Cutter Gauthier for the Ducks and a Kent Johnson for the Blue Jackets. Like, their problem was always going after... their best seasons were when they decided to luck into getting a defensive player who also could score, like Ryan O'Reilly. Lane Hudson, Helga Grans on the Young Guns, and Thatcher Demko on the Beehive. Which I don't think is a coincidence. Brisson, Kachuk, and Stanky. Stanky's for the Stars. Philip Forsberg, Fellhaber for the Avs, and Jet Luchenko on the rookie Dazzlers for the Flyers. Fedor Svechkov, Elias Pettersson, and Pierre-Luc Dubois. But, yeah. It's funny how bad of a rep those Leafs teams got for their defensive play in those years when they were actually pretty good. It just, when it comes time to the playoffs and you have all of a sudden your bottom six is pretty much no one can score or generate offense in there. You're playing punt and dump, like dump and chase hockey without maintaining possession. So it's a lot harder for your top guys to succeed. And I think it's also a lot easier to match up against that in the playoffs as opposed to the regular season, because you can be like, okay, these guys just when you're on the ice and you don't see these guys, you can just full press. Like, you don't have to worry about it. So, all right, here we go. Nick Suzuki on the Silver Skates, Jason Robertson, and Cutter Gauthier. Ooh, oh no, it's just, I thought it was high gloss or something, but nope. Marchand Gold Encore, Fedor Svechkov for the Predators, and Brandon Montour for the Kraken on the Outburst. Will Smith, and Marc-Andre Fleury. Deluxe of Aaron Ekblad for the Panthers to 250. A deluxe in both boxes. That is a thick card sleeve. What is that doing in there? There we go. I don't know why, I just like to keep track of deluxes and stuff, because I have like a giant spreadsheet that then I estimate print runs on. Pickering for the Penguins and Morrissey for the Jets. Pickering's not a bad young gun to get. Liam Ogren, Brad Lambert, and Lekkerimäki young gun canvas for the Canucks. That's still one of my favorite. Like, I love these types of shots for young gun canvases. The ones where we're with fans. Ooh, we got something red. It's not an outburst, right? I think it's one of those triple dimensions, so it's probably to like $3.99. But it is a triple dimensions. It is Zach Bolduc for the Blues to 500. Cool looking card. Isaiah George for the Islanders and Konechny for the Flyers. Big Bolduc fan here. I mean, hey, we got a Celebrini base rookie that honestly I probably should top load and sleeve that because it's worth more than like most of the young guns in this break. The Will Smith first round picks is not bad either. So there's stuff. But I think that was definitely better than the 23-24 box. Not that the stakes were that high there. All right. 25-26. Let's see if we can get anything fancy. We still haven't pulled a single debut jersey yet, which we're nearing the like amount of boxes you need to open up technically to get that you should, based off of the odds, get one. So we're getting due. We are getting due for one. I think the second wave is a pretty big myth, to be completely honest. It's just like they do the whole product and then some goes to e-pack and then some goes to that, but like, yeah. For the most part, most modern sport card things don't have two waves. It's just the initial stuff gets sent out and then whether or not like it gets held back by like distribution or shops even. So, because when you have the odds and you have numbered cards, it's a lot harder to do a second wave. It's literally the whole thing. So, yeah, it's not like TCGs. That's just personally what I think and like experience. Perek, Werenski, and Binnington for the Blues on the Outburst, the Team Canada stuff. Again, Four Nations stuff goes to current team. Troy Terry. Well, Ducks. Nice little Seneca young gun. That's a nice get. Yeah, there is... I cannot tell you the last time that there's a sports card product that got an actual reprint. Like, maybe they do retail, Misa, on that. But, like, hobby, I just don't think they even bother. Forsberg with a Groshev Young Guns and a Brady Martin. I just realized it's been a while. I never really looked at this. It says Hurricanes. It is very clearly a Predators card. Like, he has never played for the Hurricanes. Very clearly a Predators card. Just like, wait, why does it say Hurricanes on it? That's kind of weird. Sam Rinzel for Chicago. Got Michael Misa. And a Braden Point on the Speckles. Yeah, anytime you get numbered cards, getting reprints is really weird. Schneider for the Rangers, Davidson for the Habs, and Shea for the Predators, because it affects the odds so much, and people will notice that. Frank Nazar, Nico Hischier, and Ville Koivunen on the Dazzlers. So, for the most part, at least. It's not always, like, foolproof, but, like, from my experiences and, like, just seeing how products come in and stuff like that, it is, for the most part, like, you don't, what gets printed is what gets printed, and it's just kind of luck of the draw of whether or not stuff pops out, where it pops out, things like that. So, and like obviously you see all the stories online about like, oh, breakers get the top hit so often. And it's like, yeah, they're opening up the most volume of the product, right? Like the more you open up, the more likely you are to hit the better cards. So, and some of them are places that like literally will be the only place that do multiple cases type of thing, right? Barzell for the Islanders, Bratt with a little chip for the Devils, Duncan Keith for Chicago on the black and white canvas. So, but yeah, we will be doing, I do have another case of extended for a pick your team from 25-26. That will be next Wednesday. Those teams will get posted next Tuesday. I don't believe that there is a release scheduled for next Wednesday, so I'm going to fill that with that. And then, again, we got some mixers coming up after this. Carson Lambos for the Wild, Kamel for Nashville, and Ryan McLeod for the Sabres. 5, 6, 7. Stutzla for the Senators. A little bit of a chip on that bottom corner at Connor. And pass it to 199. That's our first time getting a numbered one of the All-World team. The red's at least a nice little color match on that guy. Oh, jersey numbered, right? 88 of 199. It's a nice little jersey number pasta. Adds an extra little bit to it. Mikko Rantanen with the regular Seneca and the Hronik. Or the draft day Seneca, sorry. Not the regular. Patrick Laine, Leon Draisaitl. Salamonson Deluxe Young Guns for the Jets. Salamonson Deluxe Young Guns for the Jets. Well, that trade's kind of looked like it was really in the Blues' favor, but Deluxe Young Gun is a nice little return for the Jets. Blues, I think, have had better volume, but I'd take the Deluxe Young Gun as like the top card. Engstrom with the Matthew Wood and a Young Gun canvas of Otto Stenberg for the Blues. All right. We go, I think, just reverse order. Or we go worst to best. Let's go worst to best. Feeling spicy. Let's go worst to best. Let's go worst to best. All right. Let's just keep the same order. Ooh, this box ends in serial number 2424. I forgot to start breaking on this. I don't know why I did that, but here. There we go. So we're already halfway through this unpin. There we go. Sorry about that if you got the extra notification for it, but figured I'd hit the button. All right, we want to see an acetate Young Gun here. Like, really, that's all we want to see, right? Give me one of the big guys. Or we'll take like a really good Young Gun canvas. Still trying to think if I've pulled a base Bedard Young Gun canvas. I know we've pulled his Deluxe. Is that? I think that's just a gold holographics. Yeah, it's just a gold holographics. Got excited for half a second there. Luke Hughes, Marcel Dion, and Peltier on the draft. Gold holographics of Luke Hughes for the Devils. The Matthews Dazzler and a Brock Faber, whatchamacallit, retro Young Gun. Walker Dewar, Louis, weirdly thick, Louis Crevier, and Freddie Gaudreau. Nice Faber. Fantilli, Zegras on the scene red. Let's get the Luke Hughes sleeved up. The gold holographics are a nice looking card. Not the gold that you want to see, but I'll take it. And then Connor Zary. We got one of these Special Forces of Johnny Gaudreau for Columbus. Those are cool cards. Dustin Wolf and Clayton Keller. Keller for Utah. Wolf for the Flames. We got Sam Miskevich and a nice Fantilli Young Gun for the Blue Jackets. That's nice. Couple of the top guys to get here. Kuzmenko on the canvas. Good box, good box. See if we can get something else really sick here. Maybe a cool numbered parallel. But this extended had a print run similar to like a regular series, like 24-25 series 2. And then the last couple of years of extended have been, I found, a little bit more short printed than their hobbies. So here we go. Kirill Kaprizov on the Pink Dazzlers. Aho for the Hurricanes and Konechny for the Flyers. We have Ridley Gregg on the UD3. Zemgus Girgensons on the Outburst. And Andre Pavel for the Avs on the Young Guns. David Perron for the Red Wings. Devin Levi on the Retro Young Guns. And then Bunting for the Hurricanes. Deluxe of Scott Mayfield to 250. Well, that's not what I had in mind when I said a cool numbered card. It's funny to see how the deluxe has changed foil-wise. Stützle in red and Claude Giroux for the Senators. Luke Hughes, Jake Sanderson, and Angus Crookshank, one of the best hockey names of all time. Poitras on the Rookie Gems, Mintikov, and Adam Fantilli on the Young Gun canvas. Columbus had a heck of a box here. Who had the Blue Jackets? Card Chase. Let's go. Nice box there. Yeah, when you see Columbus, you're just like, yeah, not the team I really want to get. But then you realize Fantilli Young Guns, and then you hit the Fantilli Young Guns. It's like, good day. Good day. All right. That was a really good box. One of the best Young Guns, and then obviously one of the best Young Gun canvases. Numbered card in there. Can't complain too much about that. I will say the one thing I like about the previous years of Extended compared to this year's Extended is that the inserts feel a little bit different. Everything this year is blue. Like, it's all blue. Dabba-dee dabba-die. But let's keep it rolling here. 1 second, I just have a message that I need to look at quickly. There we go. I don't get why it doesn't remove that, but oh. All right. Let's see a fancy outburst here. Or like a high gloss or something. I don't know. I want to see something spicy this break. Happy Fam, we are based out of Surrey in BC. But the breaks are done a little bit further away. They'll eventually move to in-office, but or like in-store. But Lekaramaki, Michkov, and Wolf. So Frank Nazer. I always forget that it's Nazer to $4.99. Kossa on the Young Guns for the Red Wings. Apparently he might be on the move. And Rutger McGrody for the Penguins. Bischel with another Kossa. And Seamus Casey Dazzlers. Yeah, if you are local, we do have local pickup available Rutger McGroarty, Barkov, and Arturi Lehkonen. So you want to save a little bit on those shipping costs. Again, it just takes a couple days for me to get stuff to the store. A couple business days. Callum Ritchie. And nice for the Habs. Dobish. Is he the top base young gun, I guess, value-wise? In this, like, is it him or Seneca? I haven't checked his prices lately. I know they got bonkers, but Yossi? To be fair, I also haven't checked Seneca. I should do that at some point. Michkov, McTavish, and Matejchuk. Wallstead is a Series 1 young gun from 24-25. But yeah. Cost of the Edmonton or Utah is very interesting. I think Utah makes the most sense. I mean, Edmonton makes the most sense, but if you're Detroit, like, I just don't know what Edmonton has left to offer trade-wise. And I guess it depends what Detroit's doing too, right? Like, that's a team that's got a lot of... Went from like, okay, they have potential to have a good offseason, but I don't even think they're solely going to die. I just think they're going to drop off. Nazer, and McDavid. But that's if he leaves. There is a chance he does not leave, so... Nolan Allen, Chase Bradley, and Noah Cates on the outburst for the Flyers. Cutter Gauthier on the UD3, Lekaramaki, and Chandler Stevenson. Canvas? Nope. Celebrini on the Triple Dimension Reflections. Seamus Casey and Matt Duchene. Got a Pink Dazzlers, I believe. Leanne Bichel with a Gurbankin for the Leafs and a Hedman. Bichel on the pink. And then rounding things off here, we have a Kopitar for the Kings with a Nazer first round and a Lekaramaki encore for the Canucks. We'll take a Celebrini. Celebrini, Delbish, not a bad box. Yeah, if it wasn't for the NHLPA, he'd already be hired. I gotta find the list of McDavid coaches, though. Okay, yeah, so McDavid had Todd McClellan as his first head coach. Then he had Ken Hitchcock. Then he had Dave Tippett. Then he had Jay Woodcroft. Then he had Chris Knobloch. And then Mike Babcock. And it's like, someone just like, he's got a theme for his preference in coaches. And it's like, oh boy. But yeah, that's I don't know, man. There are coaches that you give second chances to, and I think second chances are important to get within, and obviously depending on what you do and stuff and how remorseful you are for your actions, because that also matters. And again, like, second chances compared to like living a normal life versus being, a high-end elite coach getting paid millions of dollars is also another thing. But, like, he got a second chance and blew it. Which is, to me, the wildest part. Is that he got a second chance and immediately, like, didn't even make it through the preseason. Like, he didn't make it through the preseason. That guy should be on every single do not hire list. If you can win at sports, people turn a blind eye to, unfortunately, a lot of things, which is... And I don't even think he's that good of a coach anymore. I think he's stuck in the pre-salary cap era, so... Laugh, Perot, and Miles Wood on the clear cut for the Blue Jackets. So Jack Devine for the Panthers, Ryan Green, and Anze Kopitar. Zach Hyman, Sam Reinhart, and Michael Misa to 199 on the rookie update. Edmonton's problem is that they just unfortunately sucked at ramping up and supporting McDavid and Draisaitl. Like, it should be nearly impossible to not win a cup with the team and the contracts that they have. Okay. With on paper, the team and contracts, like their top two players, Crosby, Boutietz for the Ducks, and Lindholm for the Bruins. But, like, their goaltending decisions have legitimately been awful. Monahan, Neiman, and Ozzy Weisblatt on the Pink Dazzlers. And, like, I don't think that Stuart Skinner's a problem. I think he was perfectly paid for what he provided. Florian Jacquet, Colton Dach, and Mikhail Sergachev. But, Baird, no. Canadian teams can easily win cups. It's just the problem is that Canadian teams are stuck in, like, the 90s for their thinking with the hockey teams. Like, the teams that have done the best in Canada in the modern post-salary cap era are teams that have been generally analytical, generally, like, more forward-thinking, and chase scoring rather than just being shut down defensive teams. And, you know, that's what it comes down to. And then, you know, the teams that are doing well now, like, yeah, there's a state tax thing, but the state tax thing didn't help Florida when they sucked. And the state tax thing doesn't help the Seattle Kraken, Kyle Connor, Jimmy Snuggerud, Braden Coots. Like, the Kraken have the same state tax, I'm, like, almost positive, as the Panthers and stuff. Demidov, Besser, and Stephen Halliday for the Senators. So. But, yeah. It's just because those teams tend to be a little bit more forward-thinking. They tended to make, you know, different evaluation processes, and they tend to not just be old school. They tend to be a little bit more progressive with their hiring, and a little bit more, you know, again, just less traditional. McAvoy, Villander for the Canucks, Matthews for the Leafs. And that's why you see them, and then all of a sudden they get good. And when a team is good, this happened to the Canucks, this happened to the Leafs, players will sign for discounts for you. Levshunov, Stützle, and Shesterkin. And so it's like, oh, these teams are getting sweetheart deals because of the no state tax. Well, no, they're getting the sweetheart deals because they're good and people think that they can win there. Pettersson, Murashaw for the Penguins, and Curtis, man, we pulled his young and canvas a lot. Curtis Douglas for the Bolts. So, I don't know. That's my take. Velarde, Ryan Leonard, and Dylan Holloway for the Blues. So, overall, solid break, but some nice stuff for 6 boxes. I think we did about we hit odds pretty easily. So, recap: Trilogy Rookie 2499 of Nazar, Lecker Mackey Canvas, Fantilli Retro, Bedard Draft, Lundqvist Retired Canvas. Some of the other cool stuff: Halliday Outburst Young Guns, Misa to 199, Celebrini. We got a couple Celebrinis, which these are just like worth more than most Young Guns. Mayfield Deluxe, Luke Hughes Holographic Skull Pasta, jersey numbered 88 to 199. Duncan Keith Black and White Retired Canvas for Chicago. Zach Bolduc to 500. Deluxes of Robertson and Ekblad. Deluxe of Salamonson. We got 3 pretty nice Young Guns. And Dobish, Seneca, and Fantilli, and then a canvas of Adam Fantilli. I don't know what to call the hit of the break. It was pretty even between these, in my opinion. Probably not the Fantilli, but I don't know. Take your pick between Seneca and Dobish. That'll be the hit of the break. All right, that's group break 674.